Touch base with the management of Petronet LNG. Mr. R.K. Garg, who's Director of Finance, joins us on the show right now. Just to recap, remember Petronet LNG reported a growth of about 18% on PAT and 60% in sales. Both a bit disappointing, but more so on the bottom line. Mr. Garg, come to you, and that's just the first question. The numbers are below street expectations, particularly on the bottom line. What has been the reason for the same?
Very good morning. The numbers, as we have been put up to the board and board has approved our audited accounts for the year, we have touched a mark of over 1,000 crore. Actually, our profit was 1,058 crore as compared to last year of 619 crores. Though the quarterly profits was 245 crores, there was a little sales were down during this particular quarter because of some maintenance, the scheduled maintenance of some of the facilities of the end consumers. It is just a normal things which happens every year and which has happened during this quarter and basically in the month of March. But otherwise the demand is good. Our otherwise facility is working perfectly fine. We have operated over 100%. Actually, we have achieved 107% during this year. Things are perfectly fine, and this particular quarter otherwise is good, but actually market is comparing with the last quarter. Actually, last quarter was exceptionally different as compared to other quarters. So in our view, the things are okay, and the profitability as for the year is in line with our expectation.
Sure enough. Just getting a bit more color on the numbers. Was there some slowdown in your spot cargo business? If you could give us the comparables there.
Actually, there is no slowdown. We have total our spot cargoes and our short-term cargoes are in line with over the earlier quarters. Only there was a little bit of lower volume for long-term. And long-term volume, when we goes to the certain particular sectors and certain end consumers, their facilities were on maintenance shutdown. And this happens only during the month of March. And as we go, because the total volumes, they have to pick up in a full year, and that would be make up in the coming quarters.
Mr. Garg, are you then saying that the spot demand for cargo from certain key sectors, maybe power, maybe fertilizers, if at all got impacted, was a one-off, and April to June quarter will see a revival of that?
We believe that. This was only because of some maintenance, scheduled maintenance of certain facilities. Otherwise, it was perfectly in line with our expectation.
Okay, how many spot cargoes did you do in quarter 4 versus quarter 3?
Actually, if you are comparing with the quarter 3 and quarter 4, I mentioned the quarter 3 were exceptionally different. We should compare, say, if you take the first quarter and second quarter and fourth quarter, they were aligned. Only the third quarter, which was exceptionally well quarter, and which has basically, it is seen that over the last quarter it is low. But otherwise, if you see the overall annual utilization of our facilities is 107%.
Okay.
And we believe that we would be able to maintain those kind of volumes.
So from 114, while it was exceptional, it's at 107. You think 107% terminal utilization is something that will stay on for the next 2 quarters as well?
Yes, we have been doing it. The whole year annual utilization is 107%. That's good.
What about the margin picture? EBITDA margins also declined by about 220 basis points year on year to about 6.6%, mainly on account of lower marketing margin on spot volumes. Where do you see it going in the coming few quarters? So what would be an average margin performance that you expect?
You see, our margins basically comes from our regasification charge. And regasification charge is stable, and it is the same as we have been getting the last quarter, but this quarter even it was better because of there is an increase of 5%. The lower volume basically affects the overall profitability. If the volumes are low, there is a impact on the bottom line. This was only temporary during this quarter, as mentioned, because the last quarter was exceptionally well. But overall, if you see our first and second quarter, it is in line with the first and second quarter. And we expect that we would maintain this kind of profitability and continue to maintain.
Strip aside of
market is good, demand is good.
Mr. Garg, strip aside of the forex component that also played a part this time around. Without getting into a specific number, you think you'll do northwards of 245, 250 crores in Q1 without getting into the forex component at all?
You see, the forex component is really, it is not impacting us. The numbers what has been given in the forex component, it is only for the accounting treatment because we have to show it separately.
Sure.
Otherwise, it is a part of cost of goods sold. And whatever the foreign exchange, for us, Petronet LNG, there is no loss or gain. It is a pass-through to the consumers. Only for accounting purpose, we are showing it separately. But if you merge this FX component in the cost of goods sold, you will find the number right.
Okay, so
and we believe that
I was just wondering if the reported number in Q1 at least, since you mentioned that Q4 was an aberration, you think you'll be northwards of 250, 275 crores very easily in Q1 of the new fiscal?
No, I'm not telling Q4 was aberration. I was telling the Q3 was aberration.
Okay.
But Q3 was exceptionally different.
But what happens in quarter one? You think you'll go northwards of 250, 275?
I'm not supposed to give the numbers, but definitely our facility is capable of operating at over 100% capacity. Market is good and demand is good, and we are doing perfectly fine.
Right. Mr. Garg, since you are with us, you are looking at bringing some strategic players also into the business to buy out AD's stake in your company. What's the plan there?
You see, the ADB stake is a secondary sale. One shareholder wanted to sell their shares, and they have offered to the existing shareholders. They are in discussion, and we believe that the shares would be disposed of amicably, though, so that our existing structure of a company would remain intact. So,
do you
believe that there is not going to be impact?
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Do you think that over the next 2 quarters there could be some strategic partners that would be involved, irrespective of what happens to ADB stake? Some strategic partners would come into Petronet LNG?
No, only because we are not going to the capital market for raising any additional equity. It is only that ADB wanted to divest their shareholding. And only to that extent that ADB wanted to divest, and if in case of a new investor come, then we can look for some strategic investor coming in.
Are you do you have any knowledge of who are the interested parties at this point in time?
No, there are various parties who have shown interest, including financial investors. But we are not supposed to be discussing with them because it's a matter of between the two shareholders. One buying, who is going to divest, and they are going to buy it, and they have already offered to the existing shareholders, and they are under discussion.